What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today we have the keys to a 2019 Ford F-250 Powerstroke, and it is one beautiful truck. I will let you guys make that decision for yourselves right now. Perfect. Now, I hope you guys agree this is a good looking truck. I know most of my audience here, most of you guys are here for GM trucks and my Silverado specifically, but I'm not gonna pass up an opportunity of a friend saying, here's my keys. And this truck specifically is a prime example of what small mods can do to turn a truck that looks like this now from what it used to look completely stock like this. And that's what we're gonna do. Go over the small mods done in this truck and kind of just review it. The exterior, the interior, and driving performance. Gonna kind of compare it to my truck. I know it's not an apples to apples comparison. I have a 1500 gas truck. This is a 3/4 ton diesel truck, and it's a completely different brand. But even driving this truck for the last day, there's a lot of features that my truck has that this doesn't, and vice versa. A lot that this truck has that mine doesn't, because both of these trucks, my truck is an LT model, so it's not the base model, but it's also not a high country. And this is a similar thing in the Ford spectrum. This is an SLT premium, so it's not the base model truck, but it's also not a Platy. So let's get into some of the stuff. It's freezing outside, so I'm gonna try to do this as quick as possible. This is a 2019 Ford F-250 XLT Platinum crew cab, standard bed. I'm not sure what Ford calls her, standard bed. Standard like 6.5 foot bed truck. It is 4-wheel drive. We have the FX4 package, and it is a 6.7 liter Powerstroke diesel engine with a 6-speed transmission. Now, once again, like I said, this truck right here used to look like this. And very small mods made it, look as good as it does now. So that's what I always try to get at with this channel, is you don't really have to spend too much money to make it look as sexy as this. And to be completely honest, I'd probably leave this truck as is. Now, the only two things done to this. One, you can see the window tint. We got some, looks like about 20% tint on the front windows to match the factory rear. And one really nice thing about this has full windshield tint. I'm not sure the percentage, might be 30, it might even be 20, I don't know. It is pretty dark, and you can still see. I drove this truck last night home, and I'm still able to see out the windshield, but it looks really good. And the other mod is the obvious one, and it is a set of chrome wheels and some tires. So these are 20x12 RBP wheels. I'm not sure the offset. I would assume -44-ish, like how mine are. It is the same exact tire I run on my Silverado, in a Toro Trailblade XT. These are 305/55. Nice thing is, this is a completely stock height F-250, no modifications done whatsoever on the suspension, and these wheels and tires clear with no trimming or anything. They don't rub at all, whereas mine do on my Silverado, but kind of expect it's a smaller truck, 1500. Now, the big thing I like about this is this big old front end, these big C-shaped headlights. Now, this isn't a Lariat or Platinum, so it doesn't have the LEDs. But this is still one aggressive front end. We do have fog lights here. We do have some chrome tow hooks. The towing mirrors are nice. They do say Ford on the side. We got the nice badging here, the nice Powerstroke badging down there. Got the badge, backup camera, and Super Duty imprinted in the tailgate. I love this color blue. This is one of the only colors I think leaving the Ford oval blue is acceptable because it matches the paint perfectly. Buddy here went with a chrome wheel, which he was hesitant at first and he didn't want too much chrome on a truck truck, but really after seeing it, these chrome wheels accent this truck phenomenally with having a chrome front bumper, grille, mirror caps, and emblems, door handles, and even on the running boards there, they accent it really well, and I leave it just like this. It looks really, really good. They do put the DEF fluid right here next to the fuel cap, whereas I believe the first generation L5P, it's under the hood somewhere, and I do believe they fixed that on the new 2020s. So, and this also had the cutouts, the holes in the bed already for the gooseneck trailer. That's another thing as well. If you guys do like this Ford and want to see a little bit more of it, my friend who owns this also owns a 25-foot gooseneck trailer, and I can do a towing review with this truck as well for you guys. Alright guys, the first thing I notice when I step into this truck is the room. You have ample amount of room. I'm a 6'7" guy, and I have plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom, and I feel very, like, I have a very spacious area, whereas like now that I sit in this compared to my Silverado, I am much more crammed in that truck. I completely forgot, I wanted to mention real quick, this is a completely stock height truck, so no modifications done to the suspension whatsoever, and look how tall it is. I am a 6'7" guy, and it is, I mean, it is taller than me. Like when I stand up next to my truck, I can still see over the roof line being lifted 2.5 inches and on 33s, whereas this, I can't. I'm looking like right here at the top of the windows. And of course, it's a 3/4 ton truck, it's gonna be bigger, but just in general, how much bigger these things are compared to like the previous generation, because if you take my Silverado 1500, lifted 2.5 inches on 33s, and put it next to the previous generation 3/4 ton truck, Chevy, Dodge, Ford, my truck almost sits as high. Now this generation, the Illuminutis, and like all the new L5Ps and the Rams, whatever the hell they call them, these things are massive. And normally I'm not one to like running boards, but this is one of the trucks that I, being 6'7", have to actually step up into. And one of the nice things that I noticed right away also that GM trucks do not have is this on the driver's side. We don't have anything to pull yourselves up in the driver's side. Say if you're a normal height guy, 5'8", 5'9", or however tall normal height guys are. So this is really cool too, to pull yourself up into. Now we are going to go for a drive in just a minute, but I want to go over a couple features that I've noticed off the bat. And this is kind of compared to my Chevy. Now this is the same thing. You still have the old-fashioned mirror where you have to physically put the blind spot mirror up. Overall, this is a very comfortable interior. It's still like a plastic, but it is textured. It's nice. The steering wheel has a very rugged feel to it. It's comfortable, but it's also pretty rugged. Now while you're driving, I always thought these were so lame in the Fords to have the doors dip, but while you're driving they are actually pretty helpful. And you got tons of other features. You got, you know, normal plug here, 12 volt right there. You got plenty of space right here for, you know, charging phones and whatnot. The full console, I believe that's what makes the XLT Premium. You get this whole center console, which also has plenty of storage. This can move both ways. Cup holders galore. You got 2 cup holders there, you got 2 cup holders here, then even in the back seat you got a bunch of vents and places for people to plug stuff into. I drove this truck home in the dark last night, and one thing I am kind of disappointed in is the headlights. The headlights do not shine the road too bright. I know the whole windshield is tinted, but they are still like old school halogen headlights. You got the push button back window. As soon as you turn this truck on, your heated seat comes on. I don't have it on currently, but that's nice. Like in my Chevy, every time I turn a truck on, I have to manually turn my heated seat on. These heated seats in this truck are so hot that after about 20 minutes, they actually start to burn through jeans. So you do have to normally turn them down. You do have a factory trailer brake. We do have tow haul mode in this thing. Here's your 4-wheel drive shifter here, which is nice. There's a lot of menu options as well. We got the display mode, speedometer, engine hours, engine idle hours, oil temp. You got all kind of stuff. Distance, yeah, that's kind of nice for the depth gauge. And then you also have like trip and fuel. So averaging a little over 13 miles per gallon in this Ford. They also have a towing menu where you can select what trailer. You could preset trailers. So like if you have multiple trailers, you could just, okay, this is the one I'm towing today. I believe this also tells you if you are hooked to a trailer, it'll tell you how many miles you've driven with the trailer versus not. And then this also has like an off-road setting, just like our Chevys do. You can choose which mirror you want to have like a spotlight on. Like so you could choose this mirror, and that mirror will light up like a spotlight on the outside. You could choose the other one, which is cool. This truck has all 4. Ooh, they don't go down. They don't go down, but the front windows go down automatically. The rear ones do not. See, my Chevy, they do. And then let's see if they both go up. Yeah, both front ones go up automatically, which my passenger one does not. The only one that does is the driver. This, once again, this is not the top of the line trim, but we do have the buttons here to automatically extend the towing mirrors and push them back in. And then this also has power folding mirrors, which is pretty nice to have. When I get in the tight parking spots in my Chevy, I have to manually go out and fold my mirrors in. This not being a premium trim, it still has the options to be able to move your pedals up and down for like shorter drivers. Engine brake control, traction control, normal hazards, and hill descent. And then this has a really nice, let's see, start this thing up real quick. This thing actually has a really nice backup camera as well, just kind of like my Chevy does. Really nice backup camera, and it also has parking sensors. So once you do start to get too close, it's going to warn you and tell you where you're backing up too close and about to hit something at. Now, it would be nice to have all the other features, like all the other camera features. Now, you could use the backup camera to hook up to a conventional trailer, but it would be nice like to have one for the gooseneck, because you really can't see it unless you're all the way in the back seat. And speaking of the back seat, look at all of this room now. I'll let this back seat down real quick. Speaking of back seats, once again, I am a 6'7" guy, and look at the room I have. Like, the front seat is all the way back, and I could still fit and wiggle my knees and whatever I have to do. Back seat is very spacious. Check me out. I don't like where the unlock lock button is for the doors. I was lost trying to find it last night, but it is kind of cool how the Fords do, how you get in and out of the truck. You kind of just like squeeze here versus like our trucks you have to pull. I think I covered about everything I wanted to. There are LEDs on the inside, so that is nice, but no LEDs on the outside of this truck, unfortunately. I guess you'd have to bump it up another couple trim levels. So we are going to go for a drive. It sounds nice. You got the built Ford stuff, yeah. We do have a touch screen here, which is really nice. I'm gonna shut that off before oh, no. All right, not trying to get copyright for that. Oh yeah, and one other thing, it's not dark so I didn't see it. So like, I just turned the truck on and the heated seat came on automatically, which is awesome. It doesn't happen in our Chevys. One thing this truck does have also that my Chevy doesn't is as soon as the headlights come on, the fog lights also come on. There's like a, I don't even know how it works, but the fog lights come on with the headlights, which is nice. Everybody who drives a Chevy, you know that as soon as the headlights come on, we have to press our button here to turn the fog lights on manually. And all right, now one of the first things I noticed when driving this truck is its road presence. It is so much higher than anything else on the road, and once again, this is a stock height truck. Now, it is a 3/4 ton, so it rides a lot more aggressive. Like, it rides more rough. It's more stiff. It's stiffer than like my 1500, but personally I like that feature. Like, my truck and everybody else who has a 1500 Chevy or whatever else, an F-150, you know how comfortable they are. They ride like cars. You really feel like you're driving a truck in this. Now, one thing that is crazy, this is a 6-speed gearbox, and one thing that Ford does really nice is even though you're in drive, it always shows you what gear you're currently in. Well, that is one thing that's crazy. Look, I'm 30 miles per hour in 5th gear, and I was just climbing a slight grade. This thing is geared for fuel economy. It's always trying to be in the highest gear possible. And the nice thing about this 6.7 platform is it gets up and goes. The nice thing about the Ford Powerstrokes is they actually have a turbo gauge where the GM trucks don't. We're cruising down the road here at 40 some miles per hour. It's not in 6th gear yet, but it will get there. Let's see, we're in 6th gear, and we're gonna be coming up on a hill. This truck, now if you smash on the gas, it'll obviously downshift, but for the most part, you press on it to pass somebody, it's not gonna downshift, it's just gonna build boost. It's just gonna build boost and kind of take off, which is really nice. Like I was saying, this truck is very spacious. You have a big road presence, not just because of the large wheels and the offset. You know, these are the same exact tires I have on a much heavier truck, and you can't hear the road noise as much as you can on my Toros. The cab is sealed pretty nice. If you do step into it, you can still hear the diesel pump jump in and you could hear it come out the exhaust. Nice thing about this 6-speed gearbox is it's very smooth. It's really hard to even tell when the truck is shifting. I'm very curious to see how like the 2020s are with the new 10-speed. Another quick thing I noticed last night while driving this thing home, you have lights here for your speed here of the fan. You have all these lights for everything turning on. You don't have any lights though on your temperature selector. It's just blue and red. It'd be nice to carry those lights throughout and have a light over on this side as well. I know, nitpicking. Alright guys, and like I said, we're chilling at 5th gear, 36 miles per hour, but this thing will get up and boogie if you want it to. Relatively quick, and it's pretty incredible for being a completely stock truck. It's kind of neat how Ford incorporates their logo in the top of the windshield. You got plenty of storage even on top of the dash, which is nice to have. You have a lot of good area to rest your arms. I got my elbow resting on this ginormous center console, and then on my left side you could rest your arm right down here, and it's very comfortable. That's nice and plush. You could also rest it up here if you wanted to, but that is much harder material. But you got plenty of options for armrest, which is nice. And then overall, everything on this Ford has like a very angular shape. The whole dashboard has an angular shape. The mirrors do. Like, it's very rugged looking. All the vents here, it's very rugged. You know you're driving a truck when you're driving this thing. Like all the buttons here on the steering wheel, it's very, I don't know, masculine, I guess, if you will, for the lack of a better term. Alright guys, I think and hope I covered everything I wanted to. It's always so easy to think about all the stuff that you want to do. Then once you have a camera in your face and you're driving down the road, you forget a lot of stuff. But I hope you enjoyed this. It's something a little bit different again. I'm just trying to test the water, see what you guys like. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the video. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you'd want to see this truck in like a towing review. Like I said, we have a 25-foot gooseneck we could tow with. Well, we could tow, and then tow with the truck, obviously. And then this truck is going to be getting a slew of performance mods here the next couple weeks, and it is going to be, I'll assume, one badass mofo. So if you want to see that as well, let me know. I'd love to do another video, and I hope I covered everything I wanted to. I hope I didn't confuse anybody. I know I was kind of all over the map. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe, be a part of the family, join the build, and that's all I got for you guys. Stay tuned. Peace. Back at the garage. Look at that Chevy.